to. And I think radio sometimes needs to be creative. Those things need to happen, whether you're able to sell a, Jimmy Chevrolet, name drop on the end of it or not. And sometimes on the converse of that, because an idea is good, don't water it down. Yeah. Don't look for the reason that you have to sell it to Jimmy Chevrolet. Let creative people create and have fun and bring that joy back to what we're doing. The adage, I think, of it's a show, not a shift, I think is so important, and I know that that's not new. And I absolutely didn't create that. I heard that back when I was, starting in radio. But I think that it's such a great approach to the whole industry. Mm-hmm. These are shows. These are entertainment products. Mm-hmm. Like everything else, I think what radio struggles with is how do we assimilate that? How do we incorporate that into what we're doing to continue to be successful? Mm-hmm. And I think that's very evident when you have situations where, companies or operators are telling their talent, you have to have a podcast. Yes. Everybody has to have a podcast. And so then you get 3 episodes of afternoon person plus morning third chair, and they're talking about, whatever gossipy thing. And then instantly after the first episode posts, and they're, everything needs some room to grow and fine tune. Mm-hmm. But after the second episode, it's, hey, what do you guys want to hear about? What should we talk about on our next episode? And it's like, so that's it. That's it. You're done. You're done. And that's fine, because I don't blame people who are in that spot, because you were forced to do it. Absolutely. You creativity cannot be forced. You can't tell someone, go be creative. Nope. So we can sell it. Like that's, you can't do that. So I think now you've seen the acceptability of podcasting, and I don't mean cutting up clips of your show and putting it on your station website. Yes. That's not podcasting at all. Podcasting is real conversations, real monologues, real insight, opinion. And it can be about such niche things. And I think we've seen that the more niche, the really more successful it is. 100%. Where in radio, it's like, well, you can't talk specifically to one person. You have to be a little more inclusive. But podcasting is like the complete opposite. Like, are you really into a specific form of crochet? You couldn't talk about that on the air, but you can go for hours on podcasts and people will listen. People will view the content that you create with it. I think radio is getting better at incorporating that. As I said, I think where it still just is kind of out of reach is allowing people to just continue to be themselves. And again, it's anecdotal, yes, there are operators who let their talents podcast, mm-hmm. whatever content they want, as long as you're creating it and posting it and it's not, pissing off people at large. I think they're fine with it. But there are definitely people who, and I've worked for some of these people, who see any change outside of that little box that sits in an office as, that's not us. I get it. It's a thing, but like, it's not us. I've worked with managers who would say in meetings, yeah, I know the company thinks I'm the anti-digital guy, but it's just really radio's more important. It's not that I'm anti-digital. When every other market in the company is reporting these huge monetary gains in digital ads and digital sales. It's like, well, you don't have to necessarily be pro or anti-digital. You should be pro revenue.